So today we're going to do a get ready with me, like a goth get ready with me. I'm going out for brunch with my sister. We're both Virgos. Her birthday is 2 days after mine. So my birthday was the 17th and hers was the 19th. So this weekend we're just gonna meet up and get some brunch. I already have my outfit picked out. I'll show you guys that later on when I'm done with my makeup. But you know, I already have my base routine hooked up. I put some stuff under my eyes because I have dark under eye circles and I just want my eyes to be nice and moisturized because I just need that extra bit of moisture. And then I'm using the Rice Water Bright as like a little skincare before putting on makeup because I like a matte finish and I like my skin to be moisturized before putting on makeup. Like, you do not want to put makeup on dry skin. If you see my Painted by Esther makeup base video, then that's basically the base routine that I'm going to be doing today. And I'm going to let this dry for like 30 seconds and then I'm going to put on my primer and like really get into it. So I have this NYX pore filler. NYX pore filler. It's, I don't know, it's a little weird. But it does exactly the job that it says it's supposed to do as far as being a pore filler. And it's very creamy. It's very mattifying. You're gonna notice as I put this on that like some of the shine from the skincare is gonna mattify, which is exactly the type of thing that you want in your makeup. Yeah, like this isn't like a tutorial type video like some of my other setups, but it's like a get ready with me style thing. I made myself some Thai iced tea. I actually found like Thai iced tea bags at the grocery store I go to, because I go to like Asian grocery store, so they have like the tea section. In the tea section I had the Thai tea and I put some boba in here. I did not make any ice for myself because my freezer is kind of tiny and I just didn't have room to put the ice thing in there. So it's cold tea, not necessarily ice. But if you see me sipping on this from time to time, that's what this is. And of course I have like a mason jar of water because, you know, we gotta stay hydrated. But I'm really loving blue and purple makeup to match my mermaid themed hair, but I also want to add a little bit of black eyeshadow to this look as well. So I have an idea what I want to do and we're gonna see how everything comes together. And I hope that my eyeliner is straight today because it wasn't straight yesterday, but it's gonna be straight today. Okay, so before we get into this time lapse, I'm gonna let you guys know that I'm using the Juvia's Place foundation in Jade Kampala, but this is a little bit light for me. I really should have gotten about 2 shades darker because this is more like my fall shade and I'm still in my summer shade era. What to do is take a little squirt and then I'm taking a little bit of my One Size Term the base foundation in shade Deepest 35 NG. It's not enough in here to squirt, so I'm kind of like going along the sides and rubbing that on my back of my hand just to kind of blend these two colors together because I want a happy medium. And I'm gonna take a nice fat round flat brush. This is a thick flat round brush. This is good for blush and this is good for foundation. You want a nice flat base, you don't want a rounded tip. That's better for powder. So this is what I'm going to be doing. And the back of my hand just operates as a flat surface and I'm just kind of tap it and mix in there so that the pigment is even. And I'm going over my face with these little pats. I did not do any color correcting before putting on my makeup, but that's okay because it's still full coverage. And I'm just gonna keep and I'm just like doing these little taps in there and I'm going around the eyes because I like to wear a lot of concealer in the under eye, and the more concealer you put in your under eye area, the more it's gonna crease, especially if you have bags like me. Like, the more product you put in a creasy area, then the more it's gonna crease. And we don't want it to crease, so less is more. And, you know, just kind of blend this in. You don't really need a lot, especially when you have a full coverage foundation, especially if you're gonna be doing color correcting prior to putting on your foundation, which I sometimes do, but it's not really necessary because this is a really nice full coverage. Like, both of these are really nice full coverage makeups. I just needed to mix the two together to get the right balance of the color that I want, because I don't want it to be too light. So there's the foundation. All right, so I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup and I'm gonna put it in a time lapse. Okay, so now that I'm done with my base, I'm gonna get started on my eyes. I'm gonna be using the One Size concealer in shade Light 1. This is the lightest concealer I can get. I know they have lighter tones than this, but this is the lightest that I can get that was available when it was time for me to re-up on my concealer. I'm just gonna use the same brush I used for concealer earlier. And pat it in. Okay, so that's how I blended that one eye. Start off with the Meant to Be palette. I'm gonna apply it kind of messily. I'm using shade Ice Cold. It's like a very nice turquoise. Very nice. Like, I'm applying it, you know, just kind of like this. Using the Blue Moon palette in shade Moonlight, and I'm gonna blend that in here. And it doesn't have to be like super duper blended, because I am gonna like make a black line crease to kind of blend that into. Sorry I had to do my black cut on off camera just because it's really hard for me to concentrate while filming, but this is just like, I did black eyeliner, then I went over with a black eyeshadow, and I just kind of traced the bone and made that little curve. And now I have this tiny little brush right here, and I'm going to use the Blue Moon palette in shade, I'm going to use Tide Pool and blend it into Starry Eyed. And Tide Pool is like a really dark blue. So just do these tiny little stipplings so that I'm not erasing the work that I already put in. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into it with Starry Eyed. It's a different brush because it's a little tight over here, and I don't want to undo the light blue that I've already put down. Okay, so I'm gonna go over this again with this light blue and just blend that in a bit more. And because I want my pigment to pop, I'm adding more of the light blue on top. And I'm gonna go back in with Meant to Be in shade Ice Cold. I'm gonna use this type of brush for Ice Cold. Shake off the excess and do these nice little dots just to build that pigment. Nice little dots. So because I did a nice clean line for that black, I don't have to do so much cleaning up. I can use this type of brush, add a little bit of the lightest shade of concealer that I have to the back of my hand, pat it in nice and flat like this, and then I can just clean up that cut crease just to reinforce what's already been made. I'm not worried about the color blending in a little bit because we're gonna pack some pigment on here. Okay, so now that my cut crease is nice and clean, you see the vision, you see the... So ColourPop no longer sells this little mini palette anymore, but the closest thing that I can find is their new like purple palette that has similar shades in this, but it's a 9-pan and this is a 6-pan. And this is their Cashmere Forever, so they don't sell this anymore. I think this was like a limited edition years ago when I bought it, but I still have it. One of the shades fell out, like the highlighter shade here fell out. So I'm just going to be using these colors. You know, you can see it's hidden pan because I use it a lot. Using another short choppy brush like this. And I'm going to start in the lavender shade called Wanted. So this shade right here called Wanted. Shake off the excess. Shake it off. At first it's gonna look like nothing, but this is why we contrast with the darker shades so that it can actually pop. I'm gonna use this slightly curved brush to kind of get this area, and I'm gonna be using shade Madison. So like this deep purple right here called Madison along this area. And we're gonna go up into that crease. It's a little messy at the rounded part, but I'm perfectly fine with that. And I'm just kind of bring it around here. I'm going to be using the Aurora Lights palette from BH Cosmetics, and shade Prismatic is almost gone, but it's like a pinky purple shimmer. I only need a little bit, so that's what we're gonna do. So towards the bottom part is gonna be like this purple shimmer shade, and then towards the top I'm using shade Polar. It's a very, well, it's like a sky blue highlight shade. So we're kind of doing a halo lid in our cut crease and blending it out. And I'm gonna use a fluorescent shade, actually Magical. I'm gonna use Magical. It's like a pinky purple vibe on the outer skirts. And really get up there and try and even out this cut crease more. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye, and I'm gonna do my eyebrows, my highlight, and everything, and then I gotta hurry up and get dressed. We're gonna use Sushi Glows Cosmetics as our highlights, and shade Frostbite. It kind of has a bluish, whitish, you know, shimmery, iridescent color to it. It looks like this. It's very, like, it looks white, but when you put it on, it like magically transforms into like different shades of white and iridescent. So I take it and apply it to the inner corner. And honestly, a little goes a long way because it's like a gel. And I'm just kind of like blending it up a little bit. So very nice, very mermaid vibes. So all I have to do is my eyeliner on my eyes and my eyebrows, and then brush off all the powder and get dressed. I'm not doing freckles today, and I'm not doing mermaid scales today because I am low on time. But this is the look, and I'll show you guys how I look when I'm ready to leave the door because I'm short on time. So I'm sorry I can't walk you guys through every little step of the process, but I feel like you have a good idea of how I got here and how things are gonna look. Okay, so here is the final look. This is the choker, earrings to match, the dress. You know, I have my back guards on. I'll show you guys later. But I really gotta go. Okay? And hopefully I can ask my sister to like do some footage of me, showing you guys the full outfit and everything. But this is how things are looking. Okay, so we just came back from the Paul house. We just got done eating, and now we're going for a walk after we eat to help, you know, burn some calories and exercise. And then we're going to go to Molly's Cupcakes.